For decades, buying a new console meant accepting a harsh reality. Your existing library of games was about to turn to dust. Every hardware generation hit a hard reset, forcing players to leave their software behind. These hard resets were driven by processor design. When Sony moved from the MIPS architecture of the PS1 to the Emotion Engine in the PS2, and eventually to the highly specialized Cell processor in the PS3, backward compatibility required massive engineering workarounds, or was simply abandoned altogether. Microsoft encountered the exact same architectural roadblocks during the early years of the Xbox brand. Today, this historical hardware cycle fuels deep consumer anxiety. Digital storefronts are frequently delisted, and players are routinely charged premium prices to repurchase legacy software they thought they already owned. Console manufacturers usually try to distract from this problem by competing on brute force teraflop scaling and raw graphical benchmarks. The standard 7-year upgrade cycle actively punishes consumers. It strands thousands of dollars in software investments on obsolete hardware. A leaked August 2026 internal Microsoft memo outlines a direct response to this problem. The document details the next-generation console, internally codenamed Project Helix. The document specifies that Project Helix is engineered for 100% universal backward compatibility. This compatibility spans the entire quarter-century history of the platform. It covers software from the original Xbox, released in 2001, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, and the current Xbox Series consoles. Crucially, Helix executes these legacy games natively on the hardware. This is not the fragmented brute force emulation software used in previous generations. Microsoft achieves this native execution by combining 3 highly specialized subsystems: x86 hypervisor virtualization, system-level AI injection, and cryptographic media tokenization. By dedicating expensive silicon die space to a permanent digital library, Microsoft is prioritizing software preservation as a primary pillar of its hardware competition strategy. To understand why native execution matters, we have to look at the emulation tax. When a modern chip tries to run a game built for a foreign, defunct processor architecture, it requires massive amounts of excess compute power just to translate the basic instructions. Sony is structurally disadvantaged here. The complex non-standard cell architecture of the PlayStation 3 creates severe translation bottlenecks that modern x86 processors still struggle to emulate efficiently. Microsoft, by contrast, spent the last decade investing deeply in x86 architectural continuity. They focused on hypervisor virtualization, creating highly efficient software containers that mimic older hardware environments. This matrix illustrates the evolution of Xbox backward compatibility. Starting at the top, the Xbox 360 achieved only 50% compatibility with the original Xbox library because it relied on per-game software emulation and basic resolution scaling. As the timeline moves down to the Xbox One and Series X and S eras, Microsoft transitions to custom virtual machine containers. This shift enabled direct binary compatibility and the introduction of automated features like FPS boost. The final row reveals the end goal of Project Helix. Microsoft reaches 100% compatibility across all 4 generations through native silicon architecture. Project Helix leverages custom AMD Zen 6 CPU cores. These Zen 6 cores provide the massive compute headroom required to instantly spin up real-time virtual machine containers, processing legacy code without the emulation tax. By maintaining an unbroken software stack across multiple hardware generations, Microsoft completely bypasses the translation roadblocks that fragment rival platforms. Running legacy code perfectly introduces a different problem. Archival games are hard-coded to their original visual output. An original Xbox game natively renders at 480p and 30 frames per second, which looks terrible on a modern display. Upgrading those visuals previously required the original developers to open the source code and issue dedicated patches, a nearly impossible task for thousands of abandoned titles. Project Helix solves this by integrating a custom neural processing unit capable of 60 trillion operations per second directly onto the motherboard. This diagram shows the mechanical function of that NPU. Instead of altering the game's code, the neural processor sits at the system level. It intercepts the raw frame buffer straight from the GPU before the image ever reaches your television.
Using proprietary machine learning algorithms, the NPU analyzes that low-resolution frame buffer. It can automatically inject real-time texture enhancements, upscale the image to 4K, and generate new frames, all without touching the original software. Titles from the original Xbox and Xbox 360 eras jump instantly from 480i or 720p at 30 frames per second up to pristine native 4K with a locked 60 or 120 frame rate. The system applies this exact same automated pipeline to audio, dynamically injecting spatial sound processing into legacy sound engines. Decoupling visual and audio enhancement from the original source code allows the console to automatically revitalize thousands of abandoned archival games to modern standards. The final hurdle is physical media. Optical discs degrade over time, and the hardware market is rapidly shifting towards digital-only consoles without disk drives. To bridge this gap, the leaked memo outlines an official disc-to-digital conversion protocol. Players take their legacy discs and insert them into either an authorized external optical drive or a verified retail kiosk. This flowchart illustrates the back-end security engineering. An optical laser scans the physical media using cryptographic hashing. It reads the specific manufacturing data on the disk and generates a unique hardware-level signature. The system then takes that hash and attaches a permanent digital entitlement directly to the user's Microsoft account profile in the cloud. Because this one-way tokenization relies on a unique cryptographic hash, it strictly prevents multi-account duplication. One physical disk yields exactly one permanent digital copy. Once the registration is complete, the player has native access to the game on digital-only hardware. The traditional requirement of keeping a physical disk spinning in the drive during a session is eliminated. This verification model gives physical disks from previous decades immediate renewed value. They now function as highly secure authentication tokens on the secondary market. The disk-to-digital protocol guarantees that consumers are never forced to repurchase software they already physically own. This complete system flowchart synthesizes the Project Helix architecture, the optical hash verification securing the software license, the Zen 6 hypervisor spins up the virtual machine, and the neural processing unit automatically upscales the final image. This hardware pipeline immediately changes Microsoft's software economics, specifically concerning the Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Because the hardware can run any game natively, Microsoft can instantly negotiate licensing and onboard hundreds of rare original Xbox and 360 titles directly into the Game Pass catalog. This creates a distinct subscriber value proposition. Competing platforms simply lack the architectural continuity to offer their complete software histories in one centralized location. The internal memo explicitly states the engineering principle driving this design. Hardware generational upgrades must never invalidate player memories or software investments. Project Helix directs its compute overhead towards securing digital longevity alongside traditional graphical improvements. This architecture establishes a benchmark for software preservation across 25 years of interactive history.